Joining me is Kim Bergmann, editor of the Asia Pacific Defence Reporter, who's written very extensively on this. He used to also work in the defence industry. Kim, great to talk to you again. Did I miss anything there? What else did the government cut or fail to do with China now threatening war in our region and Russia coming?
Well, how many hours do we have? I think, Andrew, you've captured the main ones, but there are some other cancellations of, I think, should concern everyone. First of all, it also looks like the life extension program for the Collins-class submarines is now in doubt. Richard Marles revealed just a few weeks ago that that program is being rescoped. Apparently, the ambitions of Navy just cannot be met by ASC, so there are big question marks about that. And without getting more life out of the Collins class, we're in trouble. I'd also add the cancellation of a big sovereign satellite communications program called JP 9105. And without long-range communications, the ADF for ships and aircraft that are deployed remotely, that's going to be a big problem. And to add to that, I'd say what underpins all of this is, again, a failure to lift numbers in the ADF. Now, about 18 months ago, Labor awarded a $1.4 billion contract to a professional recruiting company. And late last year, Matt Keogh, the minister, wrote to them, warning them of significant underperformance. None of us know what the result has been, other than there still is no evidence at all that numbers of service personnel are being lifted.
And you haven't even gone into a failure to properly invest in drones to learn the lesson from Ukraine's gallant defence against Russia. And I think there's minimal investment really in the short term in missile defences. I mean, it's just shocking. Now, put it all together, Kim. What does all this mean for our military if there is, God forbid, a war in our region?
Big problems. I've always maintained that the Air Force has a certain level of capability because they've invested in very capable combat aircraft and air-to-air refuelling. The capabilities of Army are extremely patchy and limited, but the biggest worry of all for me is Navy. And Andrew, if I can give you just one simple metric, it's estimated that the Chinese Navy, at the moment, their surface ships have about 4,400 vertical launch missile cells, each one capable of firing multiple missiles. Now, at the moment, the Royal Australian Navy has a total of 200. Now, they're spread across 3 air warfare destroyers and 7 Anzac frigates. Now, in 2026, one of the air warfare destroyers will be going into refit, and it's highly likely that another Anzac will retire, meaning that we've got 144 vertical launch missile cells for the entire Navy, and by that stage, China will have 5,000. Now, I'm not suggesting that we can match China's rate of production, but I certainly think that we can be doing a lot better than we have been for the last few years.